Hello, friends. Today we're going to be working on comparing and contrasting characters. Compare and contrast. Do you know what these two words mean? Compare is to tell how two or more things are alike or the same. Contrast is to tell how two or more things are different. We compare and contrast every day as we make decisions. In fact, I just did both today when I selected a book to check out from the library. I had book A and book B. First, I'm going to compare. Both books are science fiction. Hmm, that's my favorite genre. But as I look further, there are some differences. I'm going to contrast now. Book A has 212 pages. Book B has 486. I might not have the stamina for a book more than 212 pages long. Book A was recommended by a friend, and Book B has a cover that looks interesting. After comparing and contrasting the two books, I decided to check out Book A this time. Let's look at the comparison statement. I circled it in yellow. Both books are science fiction. That is the way I compared to tell how they are alike. The other ways that the books have listed, the page numbers, and then whether they were recommended or what the cover looked like, was different about both books. So that would have been contrasting. Let's compare and contrast basketball and soccer. These are a few similarities that came to my mind, a few ways that they are alike. First, both sports use round balls. Dribbling is a skill used in both sports. Referees are used in both sports to enforce rules. But what are the ways that they're different? Well, both sports use balls, but soccer balls are black and white, and basketballs are orange. Dribbling is a skill used to dribble the soccer ball with your feet, whereas we dribble with our hands in basketball. Both games do have rules for scoring a goal. A goal for basketball is up in the air. The goal for soccer is on the ground. Readers compare and contrast as they read. You can compare and contrast many elements within a text: characters, setting, and events. Sometimes students are asked to read a passage and then compare and contrast what they've read. We're going to practice this skill today. First, we need to read the passage. Can you hold up your pointer finger? Say, "I'm ready," when you're ready to track print along while I read. Okay, sounds like you're ready. Laura and Brandon were playing a board game while their mom watched the news. "It's your turn," Laura told her twin brother. "Just a second. I want to watch this," said Brandon. The children paused their game and listened as the news reporter described a horrific tornado that destroyed a town the day before. The news segment was full of images of devastated homeowners walking through the wreckage that was once their homes. At the end of the story, a website was listed for people who wanted to make a donation to help the families that were affected. "How sad," said Brandon. "Mom, I want to send some money to help those people, but I only have $2. The yard is full of leaves that need to be raked. I will pay you to rake them up," said Mom. Okay, Brandon thought for a moment. Is it okay if I go around and ask the neighbors if they want me to rake their leaves? I'd be sure to mention that I'm going to send the money I earn to help the people who lost their homes to the tornado. I think that's a wonderful idea, Mom exclaimed. Do you want to help, Laura? Asked Brandon. Nope, raking is too exhausting, and we're just kids. The small amount of money we would earn wouldn't help them much anyway. Besides, I'm saving money for a new shirt. Any money I earn is going to go toward that, Laura answered. Now let's get back to our game. There's definitely lots of things to compare and contrast those two characters, isn't there? We're going to use a helpful planning tool called a Venn diagram. You see a picture of one right here. You've probably used a Venn diagram before or remember seeing one before. A Venn diagram is helpful when comparing and contrasting. It's very simple to draw. Just draw two overlapping circles. Write the two topics you're going to contrast at the top of the two circles. For this text, we're going to compare and contrast two characters, Brandon and Laura. We're first going to list the ways that they are the same. We're going to compare them by telling how they are the same in the overlapping section. Let's take a look at that now. I circled it for you. Number 1, they're the same age. And number 2, they play board games. Remember how it said that Brandon was Laura's twin brother, and it said that they were playing a board game while their mom was watching the news? Notice that you don't have to write complete sentences. You can just use bullet points and key phrases. Now that we've talked about how they're the same, let's look at ways that they're different in the other two sections. Brandon. He is, number 1, compassionate. That means he cares about other people. Number 2, he's hardworking. And number 3, he believed kids could make a difference. Remember how he was willing to rake not only the leaves in their yard, but also that of their neighbors? And he also felt that he, even though he was young, could help those people by giving them the money that he was going to make by doing that job. Now let's look at Laura. She was self-centered. Remember, any money that she earned, she wanted to buy a shirt. Number 2, you could say she's lazy. She said, no, raking leaves is exhausting. And then number 3, she believed that kids are too young to help. I'm not so sure that I agree with her. I think I agree with Brandon more. Don't you? Say yes with me. Guys, you did a great job following along with me today. Now let's talk about an exit ticket to show that you learned how to compare and contrast. Choose a book from bookshelf and compare and contrast two of the characters. You can seesaw a video of yourself telling about the characters and how they're the same and how they're different. Or you could use your board and marker or a pencil and paper to draw a picture of a Venn diagram, just as we did, telling your teacher how the characters are the same or different. Good luck, friends. I know you're going to do a great job. Each time that you read a book, you can compare and contrast the characters by thinking about and telling how they are the same and how they are different. Happy reading, friends!